show in Chattanooga on a Thursday afternoon that provides you with free pizza.
Okay, cool.
Today, what was this?
Yeah.
We have. Did you prepare a slide for Caleb? Man, look at this. What's going on? Let's see. Did you refresh? I'm refreshing. Don't worry.
Have you tried turning on and off?
Boom! Wow! Oh my goodness! Git Low, Git Flow. We have Caleb who works at Sophie. Everybody, give advance applause for Caleb because he came in last minute. I'm talking like midnight hour last night. Big shout out.
All right.
First, we do want to give a moment for you to hear about the space that you're in right now, Society of Work. Mary, would you like to come give a word?
Yeah, sure. So welcome to Society of Work, and we're really glad that ChaDev is here every Thursday for lunch. Glad that you all joined. So Society of Work, if you don't know what that is a co-working space for people here in Chattanooga or people stopping by in town for a day. And we want to be a work environment that just really encourages creativity and focus. And so as you can see, we have people working over there with 50 people in the space, so obviously it's working. But yeah, we want to be a place to help encourage and connect people with what they're doing here in Chattanooga and to other things that are going on. So I'll be around after the lunch if you're interested in learning more or how your office or organization can come and spend time here at Society. I'd love to talk to you about that.
All right. Lunch slides. A little bit more. Meetup page. I think probably almost everybody here RSVP today, so I feel like it's just about the number that we had. So shout out. If you didn't go here, join RSVP. It's really important so we can make sure we have some pizza for you. Whatever you're fancy, we can table it. Meetups here. We've got them all, baby. And if we don't, then come to us. Let's talk. We can make it happen. Boom. Get involved. Check out our org on GitHub. Hit us up on IRC. If you want to review these slides, these enthralling and exciting slides, once more after lunch, you can right here.
Well, those are all links. All those are real links.
Real links.
So you can click on it.
Okay. Well, there's a bonus. Hey, this is a new thing. This is a real new thing. Jobs. ChaDev. If you're looking for a job, this is a good place to look. It's awesome. And it's been put together by the community, and it's curated by the community. Chris, you want to say anything more?
No, yes, it is part of the community. It's pretty rad. We're all getting free to it. So, just a Rails app. Go and learn Rails. It's fun. So,
there you go.
and it's fast. It doesn't have a database. Check into it. So, you know what?
Saltiness. Partners. OpenTable. Shout out. Thanks, OpenTable. And the rest of these guys, Lamppost, Carbon 5, EPP, you know them all. You love them. They're buying you pizza. Don't forget about it. Hey, today, do this for us. It's really the only way that our sponsors know that you're around and you know about them and that you love them for giving you this wonderful pizza, among other things, and providing us with all this wonderful stuff. Go ahead and do it now, really. Everybody here has Twitter, right? Give them a shout out. Thanks, Carbon 5, at Carbon 5. All right, here we are. The moment of truth. It's time to vote on lunch. Do you like it? Are you tired of the pizza yet? No. It's good pizza. It's all right. And it's free, so hey, I'm going to give it a Go to git.io/vote and cast your vote now. I'm waiting. Oh, okay. Some ambivalence. That's good. No dissent among the crowd yet. That's also good. All right. Did I forget anything? Did I forget anything? All right, I didn't forget anything. All right. Caleb, without further ado.
Hey everybody, I was commandeered to do this late last night, so if it's crap, I'm sorry, but I can't help it. I'm probably going to talk about a few things that I'm going to be wrong about, and feel free to heckle me and tell me why I'm wrong. So Git Flow for applications, libraries, open source things. How many of you remember CVS? Yeah, okay, we got a few people. What about Subversion? Okay, more people. And you guys, you remember like Subversion, you had folders, right? You had branches, and then you had the tags, which was essentially just an entire copy of whatever was in trunk at the time you made a tag. And so, now we've moved on to Git, which has cheap branches. It's more distributed. It's really easy to merge everything. And so we get to this kind of workflow. So with SVN's workflow, you had the tags in the trunk, everybody worked in their branches, and it merged into trunk. And so now we move to GitHub and Git, and we have, Git Flow. So how many of you currently have like a workflow you're comfortable with Git that's not Git Flow or GitHub Flow? Oh, or a variation of Git Flow. It's like pretty much, okay. Pretty much every place that I've talked to or worked with has done Git Flow or some variation of it. And so, if you don't have one, ask yourself, do you seem to spend too much time getting code changes implemented and released? And can you just simply push to a repository and have that go out across your network and deploy, with continuous deployment? So with those, you get GitHub Flow and Git Flow. It doesn't automatically set up your Jenkins and make it deploy for you, but it'll make it a lot easier to make sure it doesn't break. So GitHub Flow, which I've got over here, is kind of a simplistic model where you have a master branch, and master branch should never break. GitHub follows this, I think. It really works well with how they have Hubot set up, and they do continuous deployment. They build their features, they do a PR into master, they review it, and they merge it into master, and then Hubot deploys things, and it's really fast. It's more along the lines better for continuous deployment setups, and it's kind of lightweight. So in my personal opinion, it's better for small and fast iterative teams, even though GitHub is insanely huge. It works for them. But the whole idea is you create a branch, these little buttons on the side go, yeah. And you add your commits, blah, blah. You open the PR, goes to master, and all that good stuff. So after that, you've got your feature branch gets merged into master, and that's pretty much it. If you have a hotfix, you just branch right off of master, and it gets merged back into master. Everything goes to your own branch and back into master. It's really lightweight, as opposed to Git Flow. So with Git Flow, you have this really big kind of, where did it go? Yeah, so how many of you guys have seen this graph before? It's really kind of big and makes it seem like it's really complicated, but it's actually not. So you've got, with this model, you've got the master branch, and hotfixes get branched off of master, but everything else goes through this development branch. The idea being everybody branches off of development, merges back into development with a PR, and it gets peer reviewed and everything of that sort. And then when you want to test, you deploy staging. So something that GitHub Flow doesn't really agree with, in my terms, would be a staging environment. So if you want a staging environment that concatenates all of the things that everybody's been working on for a week or so, and you want to deploy that into staging, the development branch makes that really easy because you're not breaking master. There's no assumption that that's getting deployed to master anytime soon. It just goes directly into staging, and you test all the things, and if something's broken, you can revert that, that one commit or merge and whatnot, and you go back and you fix what needs to be fixed. But it's not directly getting merged into master. With this kind of flow, master is only merged, or development is only merged into master after a full cycle. So this kind of goes along better with the idea of development cycles that last longer than a few hours or a day or two, where GitHub Flow is really fast. Git Flow follows this sort of conventional, we cut releases, master's always golden, and you can always deploy any version of master that's there. And with development branch, you test it first, it goes into master. Where'd it go? It also gives the sense of security in that master is always golden, in that whenever you push to master, so when you merge development into master and you push it up, your continuous deployment can go ahead and say, oh, something's changed in master. Master's always good to deploy. This is new. I'm going to deploy it. And there you've got your continuous deployment, and you're not worried about it breaking. But please run your tests first. So with all of that being said, I'm going to go actually do some of this stuff I'm talking about. Oops. I've got all these things. All right, so that's the master branch. It's good to go. We're going to check out dev. And everything's good from there. So we're going to follow sort of Git Flow workout. I'm going to make a feature branch. Actually, let's make a fix. So now we're in this branch. We're going to change a thing. Whoops, I only added the specs. Made my repository in the wrong folder.
So you initialize something in an empty Git repo, and you're just adding everything to it.
I'm just adding all the things to it. So something I was going to gloss over later was the fact that there's actually a tool somebody built that will automate all of this for you called, Git Flow. You can install it with Homebrew if you're on a Mac with Git-Flow. And it takes care of all this for you, but I'm just going through and setting it all up by hand so you know how to do it from the command line. Okay. Okay. So we've modified that. We want to run our tests. It failed. It expected it to say hello ChaDev, but it now says hello everyone. That's the wrong thing. Yes, I'm clicking things, JDubs, because Sublime makes me happy.
I'm crying inside.
You may be crying inside, but I've got Nerd Tree and this Buffer Explorer, and it makes me feel good. So if you guys don't know, I recently switched from Sublime Text to Vim and Tmux, and it's been very painful. And then I set up all the things that make it look like Sublime, and I'm happy.
And that's been very painful.
And it's been very painful for him to watch that happen. So. Well, I had to make everybody understand that when you make your changes, you need to run your tests before you commit it and make sure it works.
Why is that?
That's a good question. And it's not part of this talk. If you're not testing, you're doing it wrong, I guess.
Well, why do you want every commit to always pass tests?
Well, that's my personal opinion. I want to be able to always go back and look through my commit logs and see what I changed to make it work. Obviously, if you're building up a brand new project, you're going to have huge commits and tests aren't going to run. But if you're at the point where your project is good and solid, you should be able to make small changes and have your test pass every single time. I don't want to be able to go through the commit log, check out something, start it up, and have an error thrown in my face. So if you really want to, you can set up a Git hook that makes sure you test pass before you commit. Do you want to heckle?
I'll wait till later.
You'll wait till later? Okay. You can heckle now if you like. So we've got that. I changed my tests and I changed my app. check that out. Okay, so that's all fixed. I'm going to go back to dev. And okay, so normally something that you would do, actually, you know what, let's go ahead and do this. Yep. Origin. I can't remember the syntax for pushing all my branches.
Git push dash u origin master. Yep. And then you need to do origin space master.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Git push dash.
We'll go with that. So now we've got this thing, it's got my master branch, and it's got this branch. I'm going to go ahead and actually never done this before. I make a pull request to myself. Is that a thing? Yeah, I don't think so.
Switch back to master. Yeah, you want master, and then you want to compare it to. Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't merge fixed text into dev yet. Yeah. So
fix there. Quick question.
yeah.
So just we were talking about this, the fix slash there. It's not actually a folder. It's just
It's not actually a folder. So Git Flow kind of institutes some standards for your branch names. Those being either support or fix, hotfix for doing stuff that needs to go into production right now and needs to go outside of a release cycle. Feature slash for something that's a new feature, and you could tag an issue in Jira with that ID in your development branch, or sorry, in your branch, along with other things that need to be done. So that slash is just standard. You can make it whatever you want. You could do whatever Git branches allow characters. And I did that. So let's assume somebody looked over my stuff and they said it's good. So I'm going to merge fix test. And this is why I don't do talks the day after I was told to do it. Yep, there we go. You're right. Thank you.
You got your pair.
So, don't forget that. That got made. Oh, look, they now provide little buttons. I didn't know that. Use Bitbucket too much. So that would normally have gone through, a PR. Somebody would have reviewed it, and that person, whoever owns that project, would have said, "Okay, this is going to be merged into dev." After all of that, cycle has been gone through over a course of a few days or weeks, and all these features get merged in to development, somebody would then go through and curate dev, make sure all the tests pass, make sure everything runs in staging, and then you would merge that into master. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we've got that. And if you have built a tool on top of GitHub's deployment API or have a Jenkins thing that watches for hooks and whatnot, you can have Jenkins go ahead and do automatic CD. Something that this doesn't really lend itself to, or not something you really need to do with this kind of style with a development branch and a master branch, is tagging. So I'm a big fan of putting tags on my master branch if I don't have a development branch. Since all of those features, if you follow Github Flow, go directly into master after the PR, and you're doing continuous deployment, you don't have an idea of this is a major version or this should be deployed if you don't want to deploy after every change to master and after every PR. So something you can do if you're not following that, and let's just assume that the dev branch doesn't exist right now, you go through and tag this. I think this is good enough for V1. So I'm going to go ahead. Now I can see all my tags. That commit is good. And I just uploaded a new tag. If you come over here, you can look in GitHub, and now I've got this tag, and this is good. If you want, like assuming this dev branch wasn't here and you didn't want changes to be pushed whenever something is changed with master, you could set it up so that your continuous deployment tool integrates with the Git tags. If there's a new Git tag, you just push that SHA, and all that code gets pushed, slash deployed, whatever you want to say. So given all these things, that's a way you can build your infrastructure within your company. It works well if that's the defined workflow for an open source app too. Something that's a little different is, I guess not that quite different. So a lot of open source projects, if you've ever seen a Ruby gem that you wanted to commit to and whatnot, and it was automatically generated, the README was automatically generated by bundler, it gives you like these 5 different steps. And it's just fork it, create the feature branch, make your commits, and then make the push and make a pull request. So it's essentially GitHub Flow. Let's go do this thing. There is, where's my mouse? So the kind ChaDevs guy have this out there. And I want to add myself to the devs page because I like to call myself a dev. So I've got my own fork. And now I'm going to go read the documentation. And as you can see, I'm really crap with Vim. Does this make you hurt, J-Dubs, right now watching me navigate? Yes, I'm touching my arrow keys. I'm still not used to J, K, L, and H yet. I'm sorry. Do I need to leave off the scheme? Okay, I see. Oh hell, I need to go find my Gravatar ID?
You don't have that memorized? It's part of your memory thing.
so I can. They're on v3, right?
Sure.
I'm just guessing at their API at this point. Oh, it was v3. I was right.
Roll forward.
Go RTFM. I trusted my feelings. I said they were bad feelings. It was right there?
Maybe, yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah, you don't have to use the version API. You actually inherently use it. Look at that.
Oh, really? Sherlock. Well, is my PR going to get rejected when I don't have a Gravatar ID?
Just make sure it's space.
Yes. Are you legit? Yeah, that's easy to spine.
So, I mean, Git, when they added their large file thing, like part of the things they did was they brought the hosting of the dev images into so that's why.
That's right. They moved it to another domain name. Yeah.
They were just using Gravatar.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on using -m and then short messages versus doing verbose messages?
I can't answer that because I don't have an opinion.
Good answer.
If I don't know something, I'm not going to bullcrap my way through it.
I
I
mean,
say
the
that.
question is the change you're applying to this commit need a verbose like description, or is it something simple, right?
Is this screen small enough for you guys? That's a little bit better. Okay. It can be automatically merged by project collaborators, but you know what? I have a feeling it won't be. If you don't know much about GitHub, by the way, they have a whole bunch of hooks and API tie-ins you can use with this. So if you have Jenkins set up or some other CI tool and CD tool, you can go ahead and run tests on this. Was there a test I didn't read in the docs for adding myself? Okay. It's like, your markdown is broken.
It's tested in GitHub.
Yeah. It sends us a nasty email if it doesn't like it.
Oh, that's right. So this is Jekyll, right? Completely forgot about that.
It's Jekyll being abused in ways that,
It should not be abused.
well, you know.
They did a blog post recently about how they build their GitHub pages. I think they changed a lot of their architecture. It was really interesting reading. Wait, what?
You are somebody.
I am somebody? Well, I'm almost certain if I go look at ChaDev now that it's broken because the Gravatar ID is not going to pull in.
Show up if it didn't build. I think you're just an empty.
Yeah, okay, so it's empty.
Yeah, and when you set personal site,
It
you
changed.
Stay website.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. For the icon.
The documentation is all of the rest of the code.
Read the source, Luke. Looks good to me.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Also, let's get this merged.
Let's get So it actually hits the Gravatar API and like pulls the. Oh no, it's just a route with a. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't. It hits it without the ID, and Gravatar is really nice. It gives you an image the size you ask for. That it is
Yes.
like.
This is a great example of getting fixes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did that on purpose. I
That's right, I did that. And it's already merged, so is that on?
You don't roll back, you roll forward.
That's 2 commits behind master. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot to pull stuff in. That's right, I forgot.
This is a great example of how to rebase.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Yeah, you rebase questions.
Create a new branch.
Awesome.
Hecklers are automatically at the speaker with this.
Yes. Well, I'm surprised like all of them haven't said anymore.
Well, they are, they're just being snide.
Oh. It was just website, correct?
Yeah, yes.
So something I'm not doing here is making sure I can build it with Jekyll and that the site's not broken, because I'm trusting you.
That's a terrible decision.
Yes, I know.
It's kind of a broken thing with GitHub's hosted sites.
Mhm. There's no good way to reproduce it, like
You have to,
off
you
here.
just have to test it. You just have to
Yeah.
run Jekyll on your machine, which is pretty easy to do, but it'd be nice if it was more automated, like if it was part of the pull request process.
There we go. Look at all these things. And I'll add my Gravatar ID at some point in the future when I find it.
It's pretty easy to get.
It is pretty easy to get, but I don't want everybody to see all of my email addresses from like when I was 10 and onwards on my Gravatar account. So we're not. So I am not an expert in Git, as you probably have seen, or GitHub, but I like GitHub Flow and I like Git Flow. We use a modified version of Git Flow where I work that suits our needs with our build tool and the way we structure the company. If you want to heckle me or have any questions, now's a good time.
Why are you wearing a hat?
Huh?